Today we're going to be breaking down the pistols in Rainbow Six Siege in a tier list format. And if you clicked on this video, you might be wondering, well, are pistols really enough for an entire video? Are they important enough, or do they matter enough in Siege for that? My honest answer is no. But if you're a simp for stats like me, you might actually enjoy watching this video. Before we get into this video, I'm just going to go ahead and mention a few things about how pistols actually work in Rainbow Six Siege for some context before we get into this. Alright, so pistols in Rainbow Six Siege, when we consider the fire rate of pistols, they are all the same. They do not change, but pistols are actually capped out at 450 rounds per minute. So that means if you click your mouse 450 times in 1 minute with a pistol, you are hitting the very, very top of the max fire rate. So that means if you're clicking your mouse 500 times in 1 minute, you're actually wasting 50 clicks per minute of your mouse and your energy. So we're not really going to be able to consider fire rate here when we start and pick apart these pistols and all of their stats. We're mostly going to be considering damage, sight picture, which is what happens when you actually aim down the sights, how clear it is and how visible the enemies are when you aim down sights, and the mag capacity and a couple other things like that. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm not going to stall any longer. Let's get right into it. And as always, if you end up learning something from this video, don't forget to drop a like and maybe even consider subscribing. All that stuff really helps me out, and I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, let's start this off. Now, I don't want to focus too much on the bad pistols, because I'm sure that's not what you guys want to hear about. So I'll try to move quickly through this, but we are going to start off on the F tier. Okay, so for the F tier, we have Mozzie's, Mozzie and Gridlock's SDP 9mm, plus Glaz's and the Russian operator's GSH 18. Okay, these guns both fare pretty well statistically when it comes to damage, mag capacity, all that kind of cool stuff that we all love to hear about. But the thing where these two pistols go wrong is in the sight picture. You can't see stuff past these sights, which makes these pistols hard to use, and therefore they're in the F tier. Moving on to the E tier, the Jackal Pistol, okay, the Jackal Mirror Oryx Pistol, more accurately, the USP 40, has the same issue as these two, okay? No sight picture, you can't see what you're shooting at. The sights on this look exactly like the SDP 9mm sights. The only reason this is higher up on the list is just because it's better statistically. More damage, less damage drop off. Alright, moving on to the D tier. We have Habana and Echo's P229. Okay, this pistol is decent statistically, so it has mediocre damage. Low mag size, unfortunately, for this thing, coming in at only 13 rounds. I guess 12 plus 1. Sight picture's not great. Overall, this is an average gun, except for the mag capacity, which is why it's in the D tier. Alright, this gun's just not great, and that's really kind of hard to use. It's a little less than controllable. I mean, this you can control, but you actually have to put effort into controlling this thing. Like most pistols, you really don't have to do that. And then here, I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about this, so I'm going to save it for last. But the Revolver, we have a clear sight picture on this thing, except insane damage drop-off, okay? We lose about 38 points of damage on this thing when we actually end up shooting it at over 22 meters, okay? It loses too much damage to be viable with only 6 shots, and it's very hard to control. Now, Caveira's Louison, okay? This pistol is not good, okay? Now, especially for an operator where her pistol is honestly part of her ability and part of why she's played on console, at least. She's not played on PC. She's terrible on PC. You can argue with me in the comments about it, but I will stand my ground on this. All right, now this pistol got a serious nerf, and it has more recoil than almost all of the pistols in this entire list, okay? This pistol goes way off when you start spam firing it, right? And that just isn't good for an operator whose pistol is most of her ability. Plus only 13 rounds in the mag, really not a lot. And then the sight picture's not great, and the damage drop off. You have to hit someone 8 times with this thing for them to get downed past I think it's 30 meters, okay? 8 shots. You guys realize that's over half of her magazine. Hi everyone, during this short intermission, I would like to remind you that I do stream on Twitch during the weekends, and I would really appreciate it if you took the time out of your day to stop by my channel and leave a follow, and maybe even catch one of the streams if you can find time to. I'll leave a link in the description to my Twitch channel, and obviously you don't have to click it, but I'd be really grateful if you did, and your strat video should resume right about now. Moving on to the C tier, the Q929, got it. The Jaeger P12, the German Ops, then Nomad and Keratos PBR 92, then the SAS P226. I'm not going to spend time going over this. It's literally just the P229, almost identical statistically, except with 4 more rounds in its mag. and the same sight picture, you know, basically same damage. This time, 1 more point of damage, okay? Fight's in the C tier, not the D tier. Alright, just not a great pistol. Now we have the Legion and Ying pistol. Now, I'm debating putting this thing in the B tier, but I think I'm going to leave it here for one reason, because of its mag capacity. Alright, this thing has high damage, and then it kind of kicks a little bit, not much to worry about. And the sight picture is really clear, but only having 10 rounds really makes a pistol harder to use than it should be. Now you have Jaeger's P12, okay? This pistol has a bad sight picture. It's bad, okay? Below average damage, slightly below average, but still below average, okay? And then a 15 round mag, +1, so 16. And then the sight picture on this thing just really makes it challenging to use, okay? This pistol is bad. I like it, it's fun to use, okay? But the sight picture is bad. The mag capacity isn't anything to write home about. It's about average. And the damage is below average, okay? This pistol's not great. Now, we already covered this, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to the B tier. In the B tier, we have the P9, which is the pistol I mentioned that was similar to the P12, okay? 1 more damage on this thing, and then a little bit higher mag capacity on this bad boy. But, the sight picture on this gun is so much clearer than the P12, and most of the pistols down here, with the exception of the Legion pistol and the Revolver, that it is in the B tier, okay? This pistol is incredibly easy to use, too. No recoil on it. Now we have the Russian PMM. This pistol, very, very clear sight picture. Okay, it's easy to hit what you're shooting at with this pistol. The only issue is it does recoil a little tiny bit, and the biggest issue is its mag capacity. Only 9 shots in this thing. Okay, it's kind of hard to get stuff done, especially with this thing's damage drop off. But it does have a redeeming factor, which is its 61 damage stat, which is very, very high for pistols. Now we have the USG 57. This pistol has a very clear sight picture. And then we have a 21 round mag in here, okay? And then high damage, oh, it's not high, it's average damage, but with low damage drop off, okay? Now, I don't want to call this thing a mini SMG because you can't shoot it very fast, but this thing has the mag size of a lot of rifles, like the Habana's rifle, the ARX, the 20 round mags. This thing matches that, and that makes us a really good pistol. Because remember, volume in fire is really helpful in a sidearm if you can just spam fire something without having to reload. And there's no recoil on this thing either, so you can just go ahead and spam it as much as you want. Kind of similar here, not a lot of recoil, very, very clear sight picture. This pistol and Legion's pistol, this is Buck's Mark 1, by the way. Same sight picture here, so they're both very, very clear when it comes to sights. Now, this pistol only has 14 rounds, and it has slightly below average damage, okay? But this is still a very good pistol because of the sight picture and because of the low recoil, and you can really just go ahead and spam this thing without having to put much effort into controlling it. Now, on to the A tier. I'm going to spend a little bit more time on each pistol here, but we have you can see most of the pistols in this tier do have sights on them, except for this one, okay? This pistol, these two pistols are the same statistically, okay? This is Clash's, this is Warden's, okay? This is Ella, Zofia's, and Malusi's, okay? Both of these pistols have the worst damage stats, but the reason they're in A tier is because they have sights, okay? The sights on these things make it so easy to hit heads, and which is why these pistols are all below them, okay? If you were able to hit someone in the head once in Rainbow Six Siege, it doesn't matter how much damage you're doing. They could add a gun with 1 damage, but as long as it had a sight that was nice enough to consistently shoot someone in the head, they will be good guns, okay? Now, these two pistols, obviously, for the reasons I just mentioned, are A tier because of their sights. Same thing with this, okay? This is an ACOG pistol, though. These are not magnified. This is an ACOG pistol, and in Operation Shadow Legacy, when most of the ACOGs from attackers' rifles have been removed, and this pistol, this secondary weapon, still has an ACOG on it, it's gonna be A tier. Come on, guys. But it is very, very hard to control, and unfortunately, I've had some bad experiences with this pistol. I'll play the clip. Don't judge me.
Ben, if you jump this mag and you don't get a shot, you have to blow yourself up.
I hit her.
You have to headshot her.
Okay, bad. Go, bro. Yeah, bad.
You got 1 shot.
Alright, hopefully that wasn't too bad. Now we can move on to Ash and Thermites and Pulses and Castles, M45 Muzak, okay? This thing is very, very strong. Very nice sight picture, very clear sight picture, okay? 8 round mag, kinda low, but the damage on this thing is so high, okay? You can down people in 3 shots with this thing, alright? Well, you can down you can down 3 armors with 3 shots from this thing once they put on rook armor, or if you're shooting them in the limbs, it'll take 4. But this gun has high damage, quite a bit of damage drop off, unfortunately, though. And that'll probably move us on to the S tier, where we'll compare a couple more of these guns. Okay, we have the Deagle. This is a staple in any game. Okay, Desert Eagle, one of the strongest guns in Rainbow Six Siege when it comes to pistols. All right, this gun has the highest damage per second output of any pistol with a magazine. So that does exclude the revolvers, because this gun does have higher damage output than this. But the Deagle's damage drop-off is considerable. While it is better than most of these pistols, it still significantly nerfs the gun at range. But the sight picture is very clear, which is a redeeming factor. Now, the Keratos, this revolver is probably the best pistol in the game. And this is just because you can down people in 3 shots at any range, okay? That's because this gun does not have damage drop-off. It loses 13 points of damage from its original 78, okay? And that's all it loses. It doesn't lose any more than that, okay? So this gun will work to down people at all ranges with 3 shots, okay? And at close range with 2 shots. And then it doesn't have recoil and has a nice sight picture, obviously. I guess it has a little bit of recoil compared to most pistols, but compared to this revolver down here, it has barely any recoil. Okay, now we have the shotgun pistol, or the Bailiff. Okay, this pistol is good for reasons that aren't super traditional, okay? This pistol is really bad for killing people. You're not going to be able to get a kill with this thing unless they are on top of you within knifing distance, okay? This pistol doesn't work for shooting people, but the reason why it's S tier is because it is so useful to have a shotgun on your secondary slot. That's like, it's the same logic behind why the Smoke 590 SMG-11 setup is so good, is because you can make rotations, you can open up those hatches, you can do whatever your team needs to do in terms of rotations and shotguns with this pistol, and then still have an MX4 Storm, which is Alibi, or Maestro's Alda 556. And still have a great gun while being able to make rotations, okay? And then we have the 1911 TAC Ops. Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time going over this gun. Here's why. This 1911 TAC Ops is the M45 Muzak with a little bit more damage, 1 more round for the mag, a better sight. I don't want to call it a better sight picture, a different sight picture, I'll call it. They're similar, but this one's slightly blockier. It's still easy to see what you're shooting, but what's good about this is no damage drop-off. This thing loses like 12 points of damage, similarly to this, and the recoil's pretty manageable. It's easier than this. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to drop a sub and like, and I will see you in the next one.